Just a quick video today to show you how we use the Genteel lancing device and alternative site testing and a few other little hints and tips that we've learned from watching the Genteel videos online, which I can link in this video if you like, and just from using it we've worked out different ways in which we can make it work for us. We've always been a massive fan of the T1LCUK fastclix lancing device. Carter was issued this at diagnosis and it worked perfectly for us. It uses the drums, which gives you 5 pricks in one change, and obviously finger pricking was the norm for us, but after a year of type 1 diabetes and up to 20 tests a day sometimes, his fingers were getting a little bit battered and it wasn't acceptable to me to use toes as an option, so we started looking at alternatives, and luckily we were very blessed to be donated a Genteel. One of our friends sent us one, and it literally, like within days, Carter's fingers went from being absolutely battered with all the little pepper pricks that you'll notice on your fingers right now, and they just went within like a week. His fingers were back to normal. So we are massive fans and advocates of the Genteel, and this is how it comes in a little pen holder and whatnot. It's designed to protect the end, and it comes with stickers as well, so we were able to sticker bomb it, which Carter loves. And it comes in a great box with plenty of different instructions and whatnot for you. Some of them have put up the quick start guide, which you need to read. And one of the main things it comes with is this. So this is the different ends, and the different ends are very important because it works like the fastclix, where you would move it from 1 to 5 depending on how deep you want the needle to penetrate the skin. This works similar, so 1 would be very little penetration, 2 would be a little bit more, 3 a little bit more, 4, 5 and 6 and so on. So the blue one is the shallowest and the purple one is the deepest, and it comes factory installed with the blue one, and you get 2 ends. You get 2 of these ends, and so you can have 2 different ones in place. I think it's designed so that you'd have 1 for fingers and 1 for alternate sites, but we never use fingers anymore. I think, you know, as children they've got a lifetime to go with diabetes, so leave the fingers for later, or leave the fingers for emergencies, like if you get a reading on the monitor where it's, you know, a nasty number and you want to quickly double check, you could use the fingers, or just leave the fingers alone. You know, they've got a lifetime to go. They lose feeling in the fingers very quickly at a young age, so we just use alternate sites and it works great for us. And to be honest, I've not found much difference between, say, testing his knee and testing his finger in terms of what reading it would give out. Therefore I find it's pretty accurate anyway, so I'm happy to go off for any reading. It's all blood in his system at the end of the day. So number 1 would be used for fingers, number 2 would be used for anywhere else, number 3 anywhere else, and so on. And we found with Carter, just for testing him, that the yellow one is the one that we mainly use. His knees are a little bit more battered and robust, as you can see. Carter, show me your legs. His knees are always black and blue. Therefore the skin there is a little bit rougher and a little bit thicker already, so we use the green one for his legs. So in Carter's kit he would have the green one on this and the yellow one constantly in play, and I'm going to pass the phone over so I can do some showing for you. You can just get the Genteel in and I'll show you how you put the end on. So they just pop off these little cards, they pop on and off so you can change them, and they've got a little lip around them, can you see? Like a little lip where it'd hold on to this end, and you would just slide it on into place like this. It's gripped, and there you go, it's on. And you would take it off and on to change it, or you would take it off and on to clean it, because they're working a vacuum when they suck the blood up, they do get little bits of blood around here, and we use a cotton bud or a bit of water to clean them as well. And the ends are very easy to change on the actual Genteel. You just take it out of this holder and you twist. You've got these little black things that hold it on. You can see, you just twist and pull and the end comes off. And then you would clip the new one on by looking for the little black bits. Pop it on, twist, and it's in place. Okay? I'm going to test myself just so you can see how it works. Now the Genteel comes with its own Lancets. It comes with one box, I think. It used to, it might not. And it's got a card in with it. I'll try and find it to show you. It's got a card in with it that tells you what Lancets to use or what Lancets to get your doctor to prescribe. So most of you will have the fastclix on prescription. As well as those, the doctor will have no problems in prescribing you different Lancets. Just explain that you're using alternative site testing to give the fingers a break, and you need these on the prescription as well. It means that you won't be taking full amounts of both each month. You'll probably have full amounts of one month, one the other month, and you'll work it like that. The Genteel has a list of excellent Lancets that it recommends, like their own, and then it has a list of ones that are okay. And we asked the doctor for an excellent set. Unfortunately, he wasn't willing to prescribe those. He said they were too expensive, so we went with the ones that are okay. And actually, they're by Essentia, so they work with the contour Lancet device. They come with a contour meter. We found them to be absolutely fantastic. Carter never notices when we tested him with them. They're great. So, and if you look at the bottom of them, so these are them here. I've got a few out for you to show you. And if you look at the bottom, they're almost identical. So I can't see why they're not on the excellent list. They look identical to me. So we use the Micro contour Lancets. One use only. Please only use them one time. I share a video on T1LCUK, T1LCUK Group, and it explains exactly why you still use them once. The needles are designed to be only used and penetrate the skin once. They splinter very, very quickly and can cause infections. So look at the end of the device. It will only go in one way. So you find the way it goes in there and push it in fully. You twist the end off the Lancet as you would having it in any pen, and you put this end back on carefully. Okay, it's done, so it's ready to go. Now it works as a vacuum, so what they aim to do is to create a vacuum between this area and the skin. So once it's triggered, it's allowed to suction. You'll feel it pulling the skin, maybe, or you will certainly see it once you take it off. Now Genteel advise you to hold it like a pen, so you would, this is the trigger button, you would put your finger over it and press like this. Okay, but because it's not suctioning anything, it didn't fire properly. But what I do is I usually use it with my thumb, so I hold it with my thumb so I can see. Okay, and then I'll press it like that. So I've got a Lancet in. I'm going to actually prick myself so you can see what happens, and I'm going to go here, right here, and I'll show you some of the sites that Carter. I'll go here actually, that Carter likes. So I'm going to press it, and what you will see at the end is it'll pop up a little bit, but then it will hold itself, because what it's doing is it's suctioning out some blood. So go, it's pierced my skin very, very quickly. I didn't feel anything, and what I'm doing now is I'm allowing it to draw up some blood. It already has. If it hasn't, you can see through the little end there. If it hasn't, what you would do is you would just hold it on longer, and this end here has come up a little bit. When I let go of the button, it will pop up some more to the red area, as you'll be able to see. Ready? Go. Okay, so that means that it's fully done. I've spilt it by, damn it. I've spilt it by moving my hand around. You're supposed to just hold your hand flat, but you would find just a little drop of blood there. Okay? If you didn't have a proper area, so if you didn't have proper vacuum, what it would do is it would just come up like this, watch. So it would just pierce, and it will come all the way up to the red, and that means that it's not vacuuming, it's not suctioning any blood. So what you need it to do is you need it to, I'll pick here just to show you, you need it to hold in the silver area, and that way it's drawing up blood. You let go of the button, it pops it up to the red, and there you see, look, a nice little pile, a little blob of blood for you to do your testing. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some alternate site testing, but just remember where I've pricked myself there, okay, because we'll come back to that. So as you can see, it's gone now. Just remember that area there. And what we do is we take the Lancet out, because it's a one-use Lancet, so we twist it off, pull it out, and we would clean that bit because it's spilt a bit of blood inside it. We leave it empty, so then there's no accidental pricking. There's no worries there. So alternate site testing over to Carter BL. Let's have a look. What do we do? start from down up. We do legs, so we do
legs, knees.
We do above the knee. Below the knee is bony, isn't it? We do chunky bit above the knee. We don't do thighs, do we? But then we do this bit of the hand where I did on myself. We do this bit, and some people also do the palm, but we don't do it. We don't need to. Sometimes we do this bit here in the hand. We go where there isn't a vein, and we don't do any further up on the arms, do we?
No.
Some people do the belly, but we don't. But sometimes at night time, if Carter's sleeping, I will happily do his shoulder. And I've got this thing in my head where brain is there, shoulder is there, closest to the brain. I'm quite happy that I get a good reading there. And when I've tested it to check with this finger prick, it's been pretty bang on. So alternate sights, we're quite happy with. And if you're hypo, so if you get a hypo reading and you need to test again in 15-20 minutes, as long as you're testing within 30 minutes, you can do a prick-free redraw, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So what you'd do is you'd remember where you pricked. You've got no needle in the lancet. You can go straight over the point and prick again. But no, it's actually no prick, because the vacuum, the suction of the Genteel will actually draw out blood again. And this works for up to about 30 minutes. So it's great for a hypo. It's spilt again. I think it's just me rushing. Usually it comes out pretty perfect. But then what you do, because you've muckied it, is you'd dismantle the Genteel altogether and you unscrew this end so it comes apart. You see down there? You're just going to run tap water down it. So you're going to hold it up like this, run the tap water in, and it just runs through. It comes out of the button, it comes out of the end. You rinse this underwater. You take this apart, you rinse it all underwater so it's completely clean, because obviously dry blood, there's a lot of bacteria. You just don't want dry blood kicking around. There's all sorts of germs and whatnot, even if it's a family member. So clean it all out, let it dry, put it all back together once it's clean, and you can just use it again. Also, if you find it's losing suction, so if you find that once you're, let me show you, this one has been doing this recently actually, if you have a good vacuum on the skin, you've got a good contact, you're not pressing on too hard, you're not holding it on too light, and you find that it's doing this, it's going straight up to the red, it's losing suction. And what Genteel recommend is that you dismantle it all, rinse it underwater, and you repeat that a few times each day. You'll get your suction back. Very, very rarely have they said that they need them returning for that. It's just a matter that it just needs cleaning out. Because it works as a suction, you'll find that this area in here can get a little bit mucky sometimes. And what I do in Carter's kit, there's going to be none in. There's one in. I use little cotton buds and I'll poke it like this just to keep it clean, and I go all the way around just to make sure it's got no dry blood, and then there's no risk of infection or whatnot. Okay, it comes with its own case that can then become your diabetes testing kit case. We've not used this, as you can tell, but there's different bits of Velcro and whatnot to stick your meter and the Lancet device, some ID. We got a separate contact tip card. And what else is there? Also, this explains about washing it out. This card explains about how you wash it out. And obviously there's videos online that do that at all. Videos online that do that you can watch, which it explains on here. I'm going to try and find the card that tells you about the Lancets. Just give me a sec. I'm not prepared at all. That's your instruction book. So these are your Lancets. So it will come with a letter that asks your doctor to prescribe these one-touch fine points. And I do know children that have had them prescribed in the UK, but unfortunately we weren't lucky enough to get those, so we had to use alternate ones, which, like I said, have been absolutely fine, and they're nice and colourful as well. Aha, so there we go. So this is how you determine which lancets are best. It's got to be the right shape, the right fit and the right size, and it explains it on this card. So it's about the depth, and it's obviously about the right fit, so the end will go on and it will sit snugly in the holder on the pen. And then on the back it tells you which are recommended. So the ones we've got are on the acceptable list. So they've got a 5.5 rating out of 10. However, we think they're pretty good. I do know children that have got the ones that are the highest recommended, and their doctors were happy to prescribe those. So just go to your doctor. What I did is I wrote down the ones that I felt was acceptable, and the doctor unfortunately said no. You have to have what you're given, and the Micro ones were the ones he said. I wouldn't even entertain any on this side of the list. I would just go back to the GP and say no, not at all. We want these. So you get all this information in your box, and which is really cool, you get a pack of stickers, so you can sticker bomb your Genteel, which is really cool. And I think they come in different colours as well, so you can get pink or blue or white or black, depending on if you're an adult or whatever. And if you do a video, so if you do a little video of your child doing a finger prick and saying how amazing Genteel is and how Genteel saved the world and whatnot, I believe Genteel sends you either some free Lancets or something free. We haven't done it, but it might be worth doing or whatnot. Let me know if you do. It'll be quite interesting to see what they send you. But yeah, so there you go. That is everything you need to know, or we think you need to know, about the Genteel. The only thing, Carter's tired, aren't you? Yeah. The only thing left to do is to hand over to the little tired one. What do you think about the Genteel?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah? Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
I like how with the fingers you can only do one position, but if you can do boom, 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 boom anywhere.
Yeah. We don't do your fingers anymore, do we? Look at Carter's fingertips now. They just look, I've got blood on mine. They're just completely normal, like anybody else's. Aren't they? Yeah. Whereas before they were covered in little pepper spots and bruised and nightmare, weren't they? And now, it's great. You can see we do a little bit of finger pricking here. You can see a tiny little bit there. But usually you can't tell anywhere. Some people do the chest. I don't know how that would work. We haven't. I think it might be a bit painful there.
They might do it like down here though.
Yeah, I think the belly would be okay, but we stick to just above the knee. Especially like today when he's been doing sports, if he's got shorts on, it's easy to just shoot his knee. In bed, like I said, something in my mind just thinks closest to the brain is going to be a good reading. What's going off here kind of is going off here, so therefore if the blood's alright, I think the brain's safe at that point. And also it can slip straight through it. It never flinches when I test him there. And then we do arms or hands, but if he's sleeping away from me, like I say, I just prick him there. I once pricked his bum. I once pricked your bum while you were asleep and you didn't even move, but I didn't get enough blood off it, so I would think you would need a deeper end for that. I think the bum's, it's a bit fleshy, isn't it? Got a bit of real estate going on there, so it wouldn't, I don't think we'd do the bum all the time. So that's it, that's your Genteel. There are your ends, these are your Lancets. Don't forget to take it apart to clean it regularly, put it back, tip first, into the holder so you're not damaging the end, because obviously once these ends get damaged you're losing contact and then you're going to lose suction vacuum, and then it's not going to work properly. And being in the UK, having to send it back to America to get fixed, you're going to be a long time without it, so we need to look after them as much as we can. Yeah, they've got a, is it 5 years guarantee, something like that, but like I said, you're going to be without it for a good month or so, and you're going to have to pay the import tax again, customs charges. It's just going to be a nightmare. So look after it as best you can, clean it out regularly. Like taking it apart is dead easy. I'll go through it one more time. You twist the end, you pull it, release the button and just twist, and then it's apart, and you can clean it with just normal tap water and let it dry.
But kids around my age, I would suggest that one.
Yeah, it was just that one. I wouldn't finger prick with the Genteel. I think that you buy the Genteel to get away from finger pricking, so why would you then finger prick with the damn thing? Just leave the fingers alone until they're
I
older.
know. Look at that woman on that box. She's doing a finger.
I know. Why finger prick? You're using the Genteel for alternate site testing, and do not forget about the free blood draw. So it's a prickless blood draw. I mean, I could do it now, even though we've been chatting all this time. I could still draw blood again now from this point here for free, without a finger prick. I think.
I remember the first time when you did it to me. I'm like, wow.
I think I could still draw blood from here after all this time we've been talking and get enough for a blood draw. I might be wrong. If you find in the night that they're struggling to get blood, just hold it on a little bit longer and it will come. Yep. It's drawn some out, look. Maybe you need to leave it on a little bit more, but it would save having another prick. I think it's great. And in a few minutes, 10-15 minutes, that mark's gone and you never know that you've taken blood. So,
do you remember?
So there you go. Any questions? Leave them down below. We'll try and answer them for you. Don't forget, Genteel have some fantastic videos online. I think there's about 20 altogether. There's loads to watch. So go ahead and watch those videos. We'll link them as well. And the quick start guide is quite useful. It's got all your different techniques and whatnot, and it explains how the Genteel works like it does, which all you need to know is that it works on suction and vacuum, which is most important. How to do your blood draw, where to prick. Leave the fingers alone, and go prick the hands or the arms or the shoulders or whatnot, and enjoy. It's a really cool thing. It's pretty cool, isn't it? We love it, don't we? Yeah. Alright guys, see you later.